All right, so we are live in this thing. Y'all, let me work through these technical difficulties. But I am just coming on. Of course, hello everyone. I am Latasha Cannon, a financial services professional that has been in the medical field for about 30 something years, as well as a project manager. So I do many things. But as I'm getting older, I'm finding that, you know what? I need to find things that work for me, that work from home opportunity, or you know what, work from home or work from the phone. So I am going to talk about some financial services that you can do from home, that can make you a nice income. So while while one of them that I kind of go over might be a multi-level marketing. If you don't want to tell nobody about it, then fine. Yeah, sell the services and make your residual from just selling the services. So I don't knock MLMs, and some are like, well, it's a pyramid scheme and things like that. But what I do knock is misinformation. So I'll tell you a million jokes, but I ain't gonna tell you a lie. I'll just be straight up with you. So the thing about it is, when you're in an MLM, a multi-level marketing, you get paid based on the performance of you and who you brought in the business. So some may say, I don't want to bring people into business, but let's just analyze what the MLM is, or multi-level marketing. Because you as one person, you work, you get paid, and that's all you're going to do. Now, if your job or company you work for have a referral fee or a referral bonus, like they got an open position and you refer somebody to that position, if they hire that person, they are going to pay you a bonus, right? Let's say that it's $500, right? So Latasha refers Keisha to the company. Keisha gets hired at the company. The company pays Latasha $500 in a referral bonus, right? We say, hey, I referred Keisha. I get $500 bonus because Keisha got hired. But what if every time Keisha worked, they paid you some of what Keisha was doing? Because that doesn't happen in corporate America. They don't pay you the production of the team. So let's just look at it. So the company, Latasha works for a company. Keisha gets hired on. They give Latasha a $500 bonus because Keisha got hired. They don't give Latasha a matching or any percentage of what Keisha brings in. That, ladies and gentlemen, is corporate America. You are not at the top of the pyramid, okay? You may have, people below you because you may be in a position of leadership. Oftentimes they may bake a bonus into someone that is, on a director level or things like that. But just the average regular schmegler is going to get a one-time referral fee for a bonus. Well, multi-level marketing pays you based on not just bringing someone in, but you get a little commission on what they bring in. So that's the difference between, a corporate America type job and something that's multi-level marketing. Because people like to say, hey, you know what? uh, that's that MLM and recruiting people and all this other stuff. It's not for everybody. But I do know when I don't work, I still get paid. And that, my dear, is for me. So when we start talking multi-level marketing and pyramid, there is no product in a pyramid. So when we start talking about Bernie Madoff, for those of you that may not know, he was collecting money, telling these people he was investing in, he making money, and these people was thinking that their money was making money. And when they wanted to get their money, as long as there were people that were still giving Bernie Madoff money, he's able to pay those people who first came in. He's able to pay those. But the minute no new people are giving him money, it's a house of cards and it comes crashing down. So in a pyramid, there is no product. What is the product in financial services? The services that people sign up for. So it's not just, hey, I got to recruit people. You have people that are out here successful that say, I don't feel comfortable recruiting anybody. And that's fine. But mind you, let's talk about the business. So there are many ways to earn money. I have been in a travel business, worked a travel business for about 9 years. It wasn't To really, you have to understand travel. Now, this has been many years ago, but to understand travel, people go and come back, and then you get paid. Or once there are no refunds allowed, or because they're about to travel or whatever, then you may get your commission, but you still have to split commission with your host. A lot has changed now, so you're able to get direct commissions based on how you register. But here's the thing about it: what is our economy doing besides playing in your face? People are still traveling, just not as much. So, of course, the travel market industry is greatly affected. People are going to travel regardless of whether not all travel is for pleasure. Some is for business. Hey, what you trying to do? You trying to get in there and make your coin. And oftentimes we think of, well, I don't know a lot of people. Well, open up your mouth, because a closed mouth don't get fed and closed hand don't count bread. It's simple as that. So as time progresses, you'll soon realize that those people that are active and getting paid on what others do, there are months that I literally don't say anything to anybody about credit building, access to capital, debt help. Now, how hard is it to tell someone, hey, this may not be for you, but who do you know that may need, some debt help, or, owes more than $10,000 in personal unsecured debt, that may looking for some relief? That's a product right there. That's a product. That's not a service. Who do you know with less than perfect credit looking to build their credit score? That's a service. So that's one thing. So the financial services business that I originally started in financial services with a company called Nove. So Nove, New Beginnings, the credit and money company, because it was an MLM. After I got out of travel, the real money in travel is groups. And at the time I got in, it was new, it was exciting. I'm booking group cruises. Your girl out here making the bread. I got the kids. We off in other countries. We cruising. We vacationing. It's absolutely fun. But then come along. Now, we did have the internet and all that stuff, but you had your Expedias and things like that. But now lots of things have changed. People are going to the internet to travel, so they may or may not use your website. So you could be potentially putting together something for a group or for an individual. It takes time to get quotes. Now, all quotes are in real time instantly, especially when you're doing groups. You take all this time, get with, let's say there's a destination trip, not a cruise, but flights and a resort and type deal. You take all this time to lock all these numbers in, and then you go back to them, and they may not. It might take a day's time. You done spent, hours putting together this, reservation and quote transfers and all this other stuff. You done spent hours, and they may or may not even book with you. I need to be paid for my time. So fast forward to now, everything is about is virtual. We have fintech, financial technology, so a lot of things can be done online. Disputing things on your credit and things like that. It's a lot out there. So the company that I'm a consultant with is Nove. So I got some. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Some brochures on some of the financial services. So depending on where I'm at and what the crowd looks like, because I will go to pop-up shops and take my time. I got my brochures. I have my little tablecloth and things like that. So one of them is, of course, credit restoration services. So I'm just going to pull out the brochures and just kind of talk about it. But these are things that are on the website. So this is a partnered company, Credit Likes, that does credit restoration, and they also this is what we call our convenient solution. Many people are busy and they don't feel like trying to put together a dispute letter for credit inaccuracies and things like that. So we partnered with Credit Likes. So what they do is they dispute things on your credit. So they talk to you about what's on your credit and level set and create the dispute letters, and they dispute the things for you on your credit. Now, here's the thing I like about Credit Likes is if there is something on your credit that they have that's inaccurate and they don't remove after 30 days, they forward it to their legal department and they sue on your behalf. Doesn't cost you anything, but you just got to maintain your Credit Likes profile. and anything they get from the lawsuit, and these fines could be up to $2,500. So they'll share that money back to you. So imagine signing up to fix your credit. They don't sue the people and you got a little change and it got off your credit. I love that. All right. So that is the convenient one for people who busy and they just want a company to do it for them. I know they have people out there on here on TikTok telling you to file all this stuff. And let me tell you something. If it's verifiable debt and it was you, now it's time to, you can do your shenanigans all you want to. But if it is a verifiable debt, and they verified and they've supplied all the information saying that it's you, it's your driver's license, it's your name on that lease. Those utility bills was in your name at that apartment, So it's often, and it helps send them a payment. Just send them a payment, a little something every month. To chip away at the debt, because slow payment looks better than a derogatory negative item on your credit. All right. So that was the credit likes. And then, some of us that are tech savvy, I don't want to use tech savvy. That may be a reach. But some of us that want to do it ourselves, DIY, there's a credit software called MyNove Disputes, and it is using AI technology, the same technology that if you were trying to upload it to Chat GPT or whatever, it scans over your credit profile and any derogatory things, it will kick out a dispute letter. And I think it goes up to like 5 rounds. So let's say the first round is validating and verifying the debt. If it comes back validate and verify, you can go ahead and do a second dispute letter. So it goes up to 5 rounds and it gets more serious. So you're able to modify the letters and customize them around what you want it to say, or the system will simply generate a letter that you can print off and mail in. So that is the convenient solution, because it's not set on a 40-day timer. It is set on a 30-day timer. So you just literally go in, see what's going on in your credit, and generate those letters. So I like that. So oftentimes when I'm at like pop-up shops and stuff like that, I will I guess I better replace that battery in my front door so my alarm will work. All right. So if I'm at like a pop-up shop or something like that, depends on where I'm at and what the crowd is as to what marketing materials I have. Now, I do have a little something, all of them, but still. So this is one like a one pager. Let's say I'm somewhere and I can't put up a projector screen or really talk to people about any financial services. I will go ahead and bring this one pager, which talks about all they offer, what they offer inside of the business and the services. So I'm real big on the services because, I'm a product of the business too. I had a credit score that I had excellent credit when I came in. It has risen now that I know the tools and techniques to get it up. So now mine rides very high. So for those that are interested in starting their own company, for as low as $10,000 a white label program. So, people purchase franchises all the time, right? We got Chick-fil-A, we got Popeyes. I don't know if Popeyes is a franchise, but anyway. But a franchise is buying someone's idea and business model. So if you want to buy that, and already, many may say, I want my own business. I want to be, around this. Now, financial services is one of the top things when we start looking for businesses, either work from home opportunity or opening a business. Financial services is always up there because it is literally always in style. So if you think about like buying your own franchise, your own business model, your own everything, or you can say, you know what? I have a business and I want to offer some financial services in addition to my business. Case in point, tax preparer. They may be interested in offering some of these financial services to their clients. I mean, because if you're a tax preparer, the only money you're getting is filing the return, unless they have a business and you're filing quarterly returns and things like that. But for the most part, it is, personal and business returns, the ones that are due April 15th. All right. So think of a person that does taxes and say, I already know who's filing 1040 EZ or who filing 1048. Now, you know how much they're getting in a refund. Why not surround your business with some of these financial services? So now you're able to help them open a business. You're able to help them get business funding. You're able to help them to set up a business by simply clicking on the website. Clicking on the website is provided to you. So now you can use it as an extension of a business that you already have. So that is one that you can partner with and just offer the financial services. I mean, hey, in the worst case scenario, if you're a real estate agent, you can circle back around and get a will and trust for them for your clients. I mean, you help them get it by helping them find the house. Why not make sure that they keep it or so that it's not lost in probate? So people don't care. It'll go to probate. If you can't afford probate, yeah, they're gonna make you sell a house. But anyways, but that's one. But imagine being in business and you're needing business funding, a business line of credit. You know, we have a program that guarantees at least $50,000 in business funding. And oftentimes, it's not the fact that we already know that small businesses are likely to go out of business within 5 years, due mainly to the lack of access to capital. But that is because the lack of financial literacy surrounding businesses and things like that and how that works. Because if you use your personal credit to try to fund your business, anything over 30% utilization is going to take your personal credit down. So it makes sense to have business credit, your business credit cards, your business lines of credit. So being in a program that assigns a financial professionals who help you for 12 months is it. Not saying that the funding comes in 12 months, but you have access to this person, this professional, this business coach that is going to help you for 12 months. It's that literacy that a business owner needs to help keep them in business. I love that. So again, just building that business credit, and they're guaranteeing the $50,000. Now, mind you, if they say, you know what, we can go ahead and shoot you 5,000 in an open line of credit at Dell. Let's say you're a tech company, you need some stuff at Dell. You need computers, you need this, you need that. You know, so whether it is a line of credit or whether it is access to liquid capital, working with a financial professional helps you get the money faster. We know time and money they're tied together. So those are just some of it. Now, one thing about it is, and you'll see how the pivot was. So, Latasha, well, how did you get into, you know, income protection, life insurance, annuities, and things like that? Well, Novea is a financial services company, right? A fintech, financial technology. On the website, there is where you can get a quote for life insurance. Well, there's a law that caps off what you can make in a commission in the transaction of life insurance, annuities, income protection, all of those things. Okay. So that law caps it off at $100. So at very most, if somebody used my website to get a life insurance policy, I don't make $100. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I can go out to eat and have a couple drinks and it'd be $100. So life is expensive. So so I pivoted into getting my life insurance license. So with that license, I can do, you know, retirement, financial planning, helping people roll those old 401ks into annuities, making safe harbors, literally covering their children to the point where putting a policy on a child and keeping that policy throughout that child's life, that by the time they retire, they can become a millionaire. Now that right there makes me more money than the $100 for commission online. So now you see why I went ahead and bit the bullet and got my license. You can study and get the license in about a week. Took me a little longer because I got other things that I'm running, but I did it nonetheless. But that is just some work from home opportunity. So whether it is with Novea or whether it is doing life insurance, annuities, and income protection, many feel like, well, hell, if I got insurance on my job, I'm good. You are not good. And I'm going to show you how you're not good, because if you change employers, you can do two things. You can wait till your new employer insurance start, and sometimes there could be a gap in there. My brother passed away in a gap like that. He didn't have life insurance. But you don't own the policy. You have a certificate of coverage, but you don't own a policy. You can't make changes to your policy. Those are term life. That's with the group. Okay. So that means that when you leave that employer, if you want to keep that insurance, you're going to have to convert that over to an individual policy. We know with group rates, you pay a cheaper rate, right? But when you go to individual, it's going to cost you a little bit more. But those are term life policies. They're not portable policies where you can go here, there, and everywhere. So there are some, now I'm speaking from the private sector, the public sector, state employees, government employees. You better check this out, because I'm telling you, you will, if you see this video, you're going to kick yourself in the butt if you think that you have that insurance through your job, and when you get ready to retire, you have it. Speaking in the private sector, you're going to have to buy another policy, or if you convert that to an individual policy, you're going to convert it based on your current age. So it's best to have insurance locked into a rate outside of your job. So regardless of whether you change jobs, you always have life insurance. So think about that. But, again, those income protection things. So it's not just a policy that pays when you expire. There are policies that pay with living benefits. If something were to happen to you, your life insurance will kick in and start paying you. You can start drawing from that while you're still alive. These are things that people don't know. These are things that we're uninformed of. And this is why I do, the financial literacy presentations in community centers across the metropolitan area. I'm here in Georgia. So those are some things that started work from home. I'm not always at home. Sometimes I'm out. Either at pop-up shops, telling people about that, how to protect your income, especially the breadwinner. You don't want to be the breadwinner and something happened to you, and now we're trying to figure this thing out because you're having to get on Social Security under disability, and that income doesn't match what you were making when you were working. So that's why we talk to people about protecting their income. You being the breadwinner, if something happened to you, what happens? What does that look like for you, or what does it look like for your family? So that's why I am taking the crusade, and I have a team, and we go to community centers, we speak, and that's oftentimes where we get our clients, or that's where we get access to other public spaces. Meeting someone in a community center saying, hey, can you bring this message over to my church? Hey, can you bring this message over to my sorority, my fraternity, things like that. So that's really how it grows. But again, starts at a work from home opportunity. So whether it be with Nove, doing services, or whether it be, getting your life insurance license, or what does that look like? Everything starts with a conversation. So whether you're at home selling Mary Kay, whether you're at home selling, what is the diet stuff that you drink to lose weight, or supplements, that's what I'm trying to say, supplements, the work works. You just have to keep at it. So am I a fan of MLM and I'm a fan of corporate America? I'm a hybrid of both. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. One, you can sit on these people clock and ride it and make money. You can sit on the people clock, but again, every dog has his day. They're gonna catch up with you, so you're gonna have to put in the work. But really, that time freedom, what it looks like, that's a big deal. So when you start talking time freedom and things like that, that's really why you want to, especially the older you get. The older you get, the less tolerant of negative spaces and places in the workplace you become. Especially now that a lot of people are working from home and things like that. We're starting to look for opportunities. Hey, I always start out with this. This may not be for you. In fact, I know it's not for you, but who do you know? Who do you know that need, whether it is a life insurance policy for their children, whether it is a life insurance policy outside of their employment? I harp on that for young people, because young people will leave a job here, there, and everywhere. Okay. But they want to get it while they're young so they can lock the rate in. Can you imagine somebody with $1 million policy in their 20s paying $40 a month, paying $35 a month? It does happen. It does happen. You just got to catch them. You got to catch them. And oftentimes our financial literacy will come from word of mouth. If our parents are well informed, then typically we'll be well informed. But sometimes our parents can kind of coddle us and shield us and make those decisions, and we find ourselves in an adult space as an adult. And mom and dad always worried about that financial literacy piece. I didn't have to worry about anything. Well, generationally, there can be a shift, because as mom and dad get older, they may not be as vocal and less in teaching as you get older. So really having access to that information is a big deal. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and just say, working from home, the work works. So whether you're doing a Nove, whether you're doing a life insurance policy, there's even an Arise platform that does customer service for various companies. It's a work from home opportunity, but it's also where you can open up your own call center. So how would you do that? You would register your business. If you don't have an LLC, you can go ahead and get an LLC. If you're unfamiliar how to do that, or you want the convenient solution for somebody to do it, just reach out to me. I literally have a link on my website to help you do that. And then you start hiring people, and you hire your contractors at 1099s, and they can work from home. They just have to make sure that whatever time period they carve out to do the customer service, they got to do it. So with that being said, which one makes the most bread? Because I know that is going to come, and it always comes. Having your life insurance and annuities. That one is going to be the one that is minimal investment. When I tell you I think it's like $199 to get started. So it's minimal investment. So when you look at something like that, and you look at the commissions in policies, in rolling annuities, in income protection, the term with living benefits, when you start looking at that, your commissions could be, thousands of dollars. Doing an annuity, your commission could be 10%. $80,000 annuity is about to pay you $8,000 in commission. So when I tell you that, you just have to do your homework on it. Everything starts out with a conversation. Can you imagine working a week and you make a check for $44,000? Can you imagine working a couple of hours and a couple of conversations? Now you got a commission of $8,000. But you want to be on corporate America job making $30, $40, $50 an hour? And this person has sat down with this person for an hour and made $8,000. In a week's time, they've made $44,000. What you doing in corporate America? So let's stop thinking that there's a safety or there is this big windfall inside of corporate America. Now you have to pick and choose. So that's why I said be a hybrid of both. Have your job because you have your benefits, but also do something on the side. And when you're doing something on the side, do it based on your skill. Not just based on, your likes and likes. I mean, look, I ain't even gonna lie, because if you like money like that, then you should be reaching out to me. Hey, Latasha, how do I get into this insurance game? Because I see right now that that's where the bread at. I see right now, I may not be the type to go speak in community centers and all that other stuff, but I am the type to just, make sure that I can make sure my family is covered, my friends are covered, and just start from there. How does that look? Well, am I going to go out and do this? No, you know what? I'll hold your hand through the first 10. I'll hold your hand through the first 10, but then you'll have it. And that's just really where it is. Everything starts with a conversation. You having conversations with your coworkers. It's just not going nowhere. People are wanting to do more with their money. They're having to count every coin, whatever struggle you're going through as a parent, whatever struggle you're going through, know that if you have kids and you cover your kids and you structure it properly and you really get you hone in on the financial literacy piece, whatever struggles you're going through, your generation after your grandchildren will never struggle again. If you set up the right policies, they'll have the financial freedom because it's easy to guide them throughout the process in teaching them financial literacy, so that they don't get to an age and they just go trick off the money. That's the thing, the financial literacy piece. I don't want my generations behind me to struggle. So what do? Cover my grandkids, make sure that by the time they retire, they're already millionaires. And I'm going to teach them financial literacy all the way up till then, all the way up to I give it up to dust. As soon as they can count these pennies and make here go 5 pennies. That's 5 cents. Grandma Sprinkle, that's 5 cents. You know what? That's it. That's what I'm talking about. The only way we're going to make generations better is to make decisions now. Now affects the future. So if we don't do anything now and we get so tied up in the distractions, well, I get off of work, I'm tired. I don't feel like talking on the phone. You know what? I don't feel like being broke. And I don't feel like I want my kids to struggle. I don't want my grandkids to struggle. And that's what it is. Everything starts with a conversation. You have a conversation with human resources when you're trying to get a job. Now all of a sudden you don't want to talk. So, but the work works. So I was just going over a few work from home opportunities and what it looks like, what it takes to do it. So I'm gonna wrap this up. It's been a long time since I was doing a live, but I'm glad I went ahead and did it. So have a great afternoon. If you need to reach me, you can reach me in the comments. We can kiki in the comments, and we can go tit for tat if you want to go back and forth with it.